even with all that power and control, they're being dethroned because the Lord is executing judgments right now. The Lord is speaking judgments. The Lord is putting scrolls of judgment forth. The Lord is putting scrolls of instruction forth. His people are going to get a lot of instruction this year. A lot. Many of you may be moved physically, moved in your positions, moved in your jobs, moved within certain areas. A lot of moving and shuffling going on to get the people positioned for the incredible moment that's going to happen in our nation and that we're already seeing begin to happen. And so if things are being made uncomfortable for you at your work or where you live, it may just be God allowing it to get uncomfortable so you're willing to move. Because if you're comfortable, you're not willing to move. And I'll give you an example of this. An eagle. So when an eagle's going to have little eaglets, it's little babies, it makes an enormous nest. They're just like these brilliant engineers, these birds. They make these enormous nests. And what do they do to the nest? Well, they want it to be nice and comfortable for their babies. So they feather it and they shake their feathers out and they shake their feathers out and they make it so nice and light and feathery and soft. And then she has her eagles and she's a dedicated mama and a papa because the father takes care of them too. And they get food and they are fed and they're comfortable, right? And growing. But the mama eagle knows at a certain point, if I don't stop feeding them, and if I don't start making this nest uncomfortable, they're not going to live because I need them to jump off the side of that nest and soar. So what does the mama eagle do? She starts to take sticks and she starts to turn them inwards like this. So anywhere the little eaglets go, they're being poked and it's not comfortable anymore. And there's no more soft nest. And oh, what are we going to do? We've lost our feathery nest. But she's doing that because she loves them, because she knows if she doesn't, they're not going to creep to the edge of that nest, to jump up in the air and use those wings God gave them to mount up with wings like eagles and to soar and to be successful. And it's the same thing with the Lord. The Lord, because he loves us at times, will make things uncomfortable and allow them to get uncomfortable because he knows we need to move and he knows we have it in us to soar and he knows we're capable of greater and he knows. And so what happens is he's got to turn up the temperature, make things uncomfortable, start turning the sticks in. So we say, this place is too uncomfortable anymore. I am forced and compelled to move and to push myself and to grow in the Lord and to grow up in what he has for you and what he's called you to do and what his plan and will is for your life. And that is not a comfortable process. And let me tell you, I'm speaking from experience. I went through well over 20 years of it. Well over 20 years. I still go through it. You know, because like Italian women have to be sanded down over a long period of time because we're like firecrackers in general, which is great for the prophetic because we can be explosive at a moment's notice, but not so good for for other things. In the city, someone bumps into it. She's like, listen, pal, she starts running her mouth off. So it's a growing process, but I went through the ringer of the Lord saying, I know you have this in you, Amanda. I know you are capable of this. This is what I created you to be. And I have to allow things to get uncomfortable to force you to grow and to move out on that limb. And trust me that I'm doing this for your good, not for your harm. That's what Jeremiah 29:11 means. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. It means I am not doing what I'm doing to you to harm you. It is to prosper you. And it may not feel that way at the time, and it may not be comfortable, but it's to ultimately compel and prosper you forward for the glory of God and to be a witness with power and authority, because you need both on this earth. On this earth. So if things are uncomfortable, be encouraged. The Lord's trying to move you. And he's trying to grow you. So you blossom into what you're supposed to be. So you grow up to be an incredible vessel for the Lord, an ordinary person that does extraordinary things for the Lord. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. And, you know, it gets tiring. It gets weary. It gets hard. But you know what? Great growth and character come out of that. It does. And so this is what's happening in this nation right now.